Alright, welcome to another episode of Drawing on Fridays with Landon Huber. Let's set the timer. Set timer for 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Counting down.
Alright, there it goes. So, for those of you who don't know, this is a show I put out once every Friday, and in 30 minutes time you will see me draw a picture. A fully realized picture, however loose, it won't be totally tight by the end. There's only so much I can do in a half hour. But thank you for stopping by the Landon Huber Experience, and let's get started. So today, what I think I'm going to draw is like a Cyclopse, kind of crouching down, putting his hand over a rock, maybe in a cave. So let's begin. Alright, first thing I want to do, establish a head area. In the beginning, being very loose and gestural. Maybe his shoulder, the back, another arm kind of coming down this way, popping out, and his other hand coming forward. Now, here I want his fingers to be clawing towards you like that. So, right there you see I'm establishing a center line and the direction I want the face going in. So his head's going to be pointed down a little bit. On this side you would only see like a shoulder and just his hand sticking out here. And on this side I want him maybe like holding a skull head on this side. So first I'm just very loosely roughing it in, what I'm seeing in my mind. His fingers would be coming around that. And when you're trying to draw hands in a certain particular way, wrapping around, it helps me to think of them as one of the joints is like a dominant plane that you see, and then the other sort of joints either go back into space or come forward. Of the fingers. And then this hand is coming forward towards the camera, and then maybe just like a big rock right there that he's holding, like he's crouched down, and some shreddy clothing that's hanging from him here. And then his legs, which if this was the top of his body, this would be the back. His legs kind of coming down like that. And that kind of creates an overall triangular composition, which is something that is appealing to the eye, dynamic. These are going to be just rocks in the foreground. And then maybe a split back here where the cave is kind of coming together. And then a lot of this area would be in black. Okay, so maybe he has some fur, since he's going to be a Cyclops monster. He's wearing some kind of fur pants. And maybe move his head down just a little bit so I can get more of that back feeling in there. And then start drawing in his face And one thing about Cyclopse is they only have one eye. So, very roughly, you can already kind of see where the figure is going to be and how the figure is going to be just by that. I'm having an open mouth and a big jaw coming down. Looking scary. Maybe a unibrow. And pointy Cyclops, goblin-y ears. Hairy back. And areas where he just has ripped clothing. And you can see right here where his hand is coming towards the camera. I'm trying to sell the roundness right here. And then here, it's just going to be one of his joints. And right there is his fingernail. And then the other joints of his fingers are going back. So they won't be as dominant in the piece. So I'm focusing on the joints that I want of the plane that you're going to see. And the other ones are going back into space. I think down here we'll have a lot of shadow on his legs, with the light kind of generally coming from above. And things would be casting shadows downwards. It's pretty sketchy. And then a lot of black area around here with light right here, as though that's where the crack of the cave would be. Same along there, maybe a little light here in this area and that area. Okay. So these shows are meant for, I guess, people that are really interested in watching art really being created. I'm not pulling tricks with these particular videos. I'm not overly editing anything. I'm not doing fast motion, so it's all real-time motion. I also make, I'm going to plug some of my other things. I also make art process videos, which are different. They're more filmed in segments and edited together. You can find those in the art process video section of this YouTube channel. But those are definitely worth checking out too, because they are a lot of work to put together, and you get to see in one pass basically an entire illustration being created from beginning to end, or the finishing. You know, a couple of the videos I had already started them, and then I'm showing you either the inking or the coloring process on a few of them. But those are pretty cool, guys. So head over to the art process videos section of this YouTube channel and check those out. Now here, you can see I'm adding a shadow to a whole side of his face. The shadow would be, his fingers should also be in shadow. And most of his hand would be going behind the skull. Alright. I'm going to grab a thicker pencil now and start chunking in these dark areas as fast as I can. And those are going to be, and of course this whole section back here would all be dark, because that whole section back there is kind of like dark cave. And when people are drawing comics, sometimes if a whole entire area is supposed to be dark like this, they may just put little X's on there to kind of indicate that that area is supposed to be black. And that works for purposes of telling the inker, but I kind of want to get a little bit of motion in that area, as well as so you guys can kind of get a better idea of what it would look like. And then here there would also be heavy black areas on these rocks, just little areas of light kind of coming through. For those of you who don't know, I'm also a musician. I put out an album called Creature of Emotion, which you should definitely check out. It's on, again, in the playlist section of this YouTube channel. Creature of Emotion, check it out, guys. I recorded all the parts and instruments and everything myself. Wrote all the songs and lyrics myself. Also, there's one that's more humorous based. It's also really fun and some real cool songs, and that one is called The Hole in the Wall Gang. The Hole in the Wall Gang LP, which was a bit of a collaboration with my cousin Jeff Jones. But that one's pretty awesome, so I would check that out too. All those can be found in the playlist section of this YouTube channel. I also have a website. Right now it's at landonhuberart.netlify.app for those that are interested in hiring me. Actually, though, check the links, because that may change in the future. So check the links in this YouTube video for my website information if you want to commission me for a piece. Also, you definitely need to go to landonhuberart.etsy.com. That's my online store where I sell all sorts of cool Halloween art, t-shirts, and posters. And that is something you definitely don't want to miss. Alright, now, how much time do we got left here? Alright, we're about the halfway point. And I can tell you, man, there's only so much you can do in a half hour. which is why you see a lot of other videos. You're either seeing some sort of trick photography or sped up photography, time lapse. But these ones are 100% real time, but it's really hard to try to bang something out in that time. But I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. They will definitely be loose, but hopefully realized. So there, I'm drawing this Cyclopse. See, it's just little areas where there's goo or stuff. Maybe a little goo coming out of the mouth there and kind of dripping down. I don't want to spend too much time right there. Maybe give him a little bit of a skinnier jaw. And now my smudging is coming back. Look at that. Let's get my paper. It runs in my family, the sweaty hand syndrome thing. This would be like a unibrow up here, kind of curling around. And indicate some more shadows on his lower face there. When I ink that, I would probably create a gray tone shadows in those areas. So not totally black, but not white. And then of course when you ink and color, there's more that can be indicated and realized in the coloring process that you can't do with either a pen or a pencil. You need color and tone to do that. Okay. All right. It's getting there. Okay. Cyclops in the cave, guys. If you're liking watching these YouTube videos, I'd sure appreciate a like. If you can't share it, you don't have the time for that, just hit that subscribe button. I'm not going to inundate you with garbage, promise. When you get notifications from me, they will be quality videos, guys. See, I'm moving over here, just tightening up my pencil work over here. Little fingers grasping that skull. And I do rush my drawing for the purposes of doing these videos as fast as I'm doing them. However, what that is helping me to do is to kind of think on my feet and not get too caught up in the little details, but worrying about the most important areas first and getting them banged out in a timely manner. And thank you for watching this far into the Landon Huber experience. Drawing on Fridays. A little more. And then maybe just get some of these rock formations kind of indicated in there a little bit more. Some shadows kind of coming off the fingers, falling onto the rocks below. And little cracks of rock everywhere. Rocks are another thing that are fun to draw. They're organic and they cut into all these various little shapes. Oh boy, well, how much time we got left here? 9 minutes, alright. We're not doing too bad. Draw his eye in here some more. Well, that's like a little shine and then a little pupil and then he's like looking down, I guess. Should he be looking down though? I don't know. One of the areas which I might spend a little more time on is really the face to try to see. That looks good, but I'm not getting the sense that he's looking at you. So I want to get that sense. So I'm going to move his pupil up more in the middle. So it's almost like he's staring more at you. Maybe little veiny things on the side. And some indication of shadow. Even eyes have shadow. Alright, let's just keep working on it. Looks alright. Little bumps and creases and skin texture. Maybe I'll have this little area where it's almost like a wife beater. It's just a piece of shirt kind of going across over there. Maybe another one piece kind of hanging out over here. Don't get too carried away with that. Furry pants. Shadow from pants. Falling on leg indicated in there. Alright. We're running close to the clock. I think we got about 6 minutes left here. There will be 1 or 2 little edits in these videos because my DSLR camera can only record for 29.5 minutes or something like that. So on this video you'll see a little edit towards the end, and then that's because my camera shuts off at a certain point. So now you have all of this here to look at, and it is now what you're building on, you know. You're no longer staring at a blank piece of paper, you're staring at this, and you're adding and subtracting to it. And in any painting or drawing, you need to, there does become a certain point where that happens. And And then the rest of the picture realization is adding fine-tuning, etc., etc., etc. The more you look at it, the more your brain is talking to you, telling you what kind of moves you still need to make to make it look good. This is a somewhat rough skeleton over here, but it's good enough to see what's over there. Here's some of these guidelines. If I'm ever struggling to get something out of my head, I'll start being more and more scribbly. And that sometimes just confuses me when I'm looking at a bunch of scribbles and then I don't know which ones are the right ones that I want to keep. Some scribbly is good, but way too much, and then I start getting a little bit confused. It starts being hard for me to clean it up, so I try to just get the shape in of what I'm seeing in my mind's eye in the early stages, so I'm not wasting too much time with that. Although, you know, if you feel it's necessary, go for it. Alright, we got about 2 minutes and 56 seconds, so I'm gonna stop the camera right now because I know if it isn't clicked off yet, it will soon. And we'll finish the show up the last couple minutes. Alright, here we go. Right here, I'm thinking what was I thinking? Right there, the light would hit that part of his leg. Fur cloth over there. More shadow down here, which kind of breaks up as it moves down. But right along this edge should be white. Shadow, shadow, shadow. And then here we go. And more hairy, kind of crazy things. He's a Cyclopse, he's a monster. Textural things in here. Okay. A little bit more detail. Maybe some ripped clothing on his fingers. At least indicating that. Sometimes it's kind of good to squint. So you can see where you need to darken. So like some of this stuff would be going a little bit closer to shadow, but still, when I ink that in there, I would use lines to indicate a gray. Maybe another shred of something right there. Indication of a kneecap and his leg. And on and on. And then when you get to this point, actually is when you may say, oh, well, it's really loose. Well, yeah, it is. I did this all before your eyes in a half hour. That is going to be loose. 2 little strands of ripped hair breaking up this white. So maybe some, try to get some interesting shapes to indicate the sides of the caves there. And we're coming close to the end of the episode now, so that's the timer. So I'm going to call it there, guys. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for watching me draw for half an hour. Thanks for watching the Landon Huber Experience. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.